Welcome to Ask a Therapist, a show where qualified therapists stop by to answer all your questions. Welcome to episode 7 of Ask a Therapist. This is a show that we started where you get all the questions you've ever wanted to ask a therapist or a counselor answered by a therapist and a counselor. How can you get your question to us? In the show notes, there's a question form. Drop your question there. Doesn't matter how long it is. We're here to listen to you, and then keep listening to the show to hear your answer. Now, in this episode, we'll hear answers to questions dealing with relationships, attachment styles, and so much more. However, before we get to that, in this first season, Daisy, who's the founder and lead counselor at ConvoCare, is going to be answering all your questions. And she started ConvoCare during COVID, where it was very clear there was a need for a lot of psychological support, emotional support, spiritual support, and so much more. So when you reach out to ConvoCare, first you go through a consultation where you get to decide whether their therapists are a perfect fit for you or not. If you decide they are, then you move forward. And they have various therapies from group therapy, couple therapy, individual therapy, online therapy for our diaspora family, and so much more. This is not the only thing they do. They create incredible mental health awareness and do advocacy work in the space. So if you check out the show notes, there is their email address and a phone number for you to book your sessions with ConvoCare. And now, let's get right into answering all your questions. Welcome Daisy to another episode. Today's question has everything to do with relationships. Hey, these things, they're so sweet, but they're also so hectic. So we got this question that says, hi, I've been dating this guy for 10 months now, and our relationship has been good so far. However, we have a recurring issue that keeps on throwing us off balance. He acts like he's not interested in anything I'm planning for us, like going out or just couple plans. After a lot of fighting, he said that he doesn't understand how much I love him that much because other than his grandma and mom, he hasn't been shown love by people who have been in his life. So it's like he doesn't feel worthy to receive my love. What can I do? Our mutual friends are sure that he really loves me and wants to settle in the future, but his actions don't speak that. How can I not overlove him but love him just enough that it's not unmanageable for him?
Okay. So one way to tell anyone that loves you would care about how you feel. It's already evident with the fact that this person actually spoke about what could be affecting them. It means that they care, that you feel like you're not loved. So with the fact that also the mutual friends speaking of the same, it could also mean that this person has also spoken to them. So anyone who cares about you would care about how you feel. So they care that you feel like you're not, the love is not being reciprocated. So I want to imagine that this person is an avoidant. And what usually happens is that the avoidant usually ends up in a relationship with the anxious.
Yeah.
So with the fact that they feel like they were not loved enough, they only received love from their mom and their grandmother, that could say that it is an issue that they have to resolve within themselves. So depending on how long you're willing to support them, it would be important that you be there for them as they navigate this. However, the important thing is growth. Is this person willing to change? If you have actually noticed that love is not being reciprocated, how long in can you wait? What actions are they putting in so that they can actually be better? However, it is possible for you to offer them support. Let them know that you not only love them for who they are, but also deep down you'd like to have a connection with them. Notice when they make any major improvements and applaud them for it. Also, let them know that you'd like the relationship to work, and therefore you're willing to put in the work. So encourage them to seek support if possible, so that they can address whatever pain they have from their past, because it seems like it's an issue within him. Yes.
And what about like when she's talking about how do I love him in a way that's manageable for him. Like, is it fair to? I hope whoever this person is not talking about reducing who they are, like altering. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
So I'm just. Is that advisable?
No,
Yeah.
no, no.
Yeah.
It is good that you be able to love them and maintain your independence and the person that you are in the relationship. A good relationship should make you better, not necessarily change you, but actually there is need to be growth for both of you.
Yeah.
And that's why I've said anyone that loves you would care about how you feel. So if at all you're putting all the effort and letting this person know that you're connecting with them and they're not actually trying to be better so that the relationship works, then it would mean that maybe it won't work.
We've not made it past the conflict phase. All right. So the next question, I think we have time in this episode for one more, was sent in and says, can someone heal while they are still in an unhealthy environment? I have a parent who constantly reminds me of what I'm awful at, and I really hate myself. Can I change that mindset while still living with a parent?
Okay.
That is so painful. Like reading the I hate myself just broke my heart. Yeah. I am so sorry. Yeah.
Yes, so it is unfortunate that they have to be within the same environment. Maybe the environment is out of their control. But yes, it is possible to actually begin the healing process while you're still in that environment. How do you do this? Number one, you put up boundaries with this parent. Understanding that it is important that your mental health be solid. Therefore, putting in activities in place to make yourself more stable. So if it is possible that you seek support for yourself, that would go a long way in enabling you to even find a way to exit that environment. Number two, learning also how to validate yourself. So from what is happening within the home, acknowledging that this is how it makes me feel. And again, acknowledging could be in the form of writing. It could be that you journal every day to notice how that relationship actually makes you feel. Building your self-worth, because an abusive relationship with your parent could in one way or the other diminish your self-worth. So building yourself and working on your self-worth so that as you look on exiting that environment, you're in a place where mentally you have learned how to cope. Also putting up healthy boundaries with them. It could be difficult, but actually limiting your time around them whenever possible, putting up boundaries with them whenever possible could go a long way in beginning the healing process. But have an exit plan, because healing is better when you're out of that unhealthy environment.
And I will share one thing that was said to me at one of the group therapy sessions we run, and it was in passing. We were moving from one patch of grass to the next, and I was telling someone, one of the attendees who's part of our community, I said, go in front of me because I'm so clumsy. And she said, whose words are those? Is it your own words saying that you're clumsy, or is it words you were told while you were growing up? Meaning it's someone else's words, right? And it's just helped me deal with a lot of the words we're told when we're growing up by adults who are unhealed, right? And just interrogating that and being like, okay, they said I'm not really good with blah, blah, blah. Is this true? Actually, no, it's not true, So just interrogate so that the words can truly be yours. By the time you're telling us you're clumsy, it's because personally, I am clumsy, I hope that helps out.
Yes.
I hope this episode gave you insights that can help you on your healing journey. Remember to send in your questions via the question form. There's a link in the show notes. And if you feel moved to start your individual therapy sessions or couple sessions or even join group therapy sessions, check out the show notes for email address to ConvoCare and their phone number as well. If you enjoyed the episode, please give us a 5-star rating, and most importantly, share this episode with your friends and even your enemies. That's all for this episode. If you have a question to ask a therapist, please drop it in our question form. A link to it is in the show notes. Catch you next week for the next episode of Ask a Therapist.